Rev up your engines!
As ISA says, my truck runs better in the morning when I let it warm up 5 to 10 minutes versus when I just start it up and go. Normally vehicles don't need warming up anymore. New vehicles that are brand new, you can start them up and then drive them away, unless you live in Alaska and it's 50 below where you got to warm it up. That said, you have an older vehicle that's worn. Yes, a lot of them need to be warmed up because the engine's sort of carbon up inside. That makes them have a higher compression ratio inside. And let's say you got an old truck and it's carboned up inside. You're probably still using regular gasoline, not high-test gasoline. Well, a high-compression engine needs high-test gasoline. And yours, if it's got enough carbon, is now a high-compression engine. So when it's cold and you start it up, it's going to run a lot worse than when it's all warmed up and heated up. Then it will run somewhat better, even on the lower grade of gasoline. When you do have an older vehicle, you learn how it works. And that's where, when I'm working on my customers' cars, I always learn from them. I say, look, you're not a mechanic, but you drive that car. Tell me everything about it. And I'll talk with them for 5 or 10 minutes before I work on the car. I'll get all the feedback. And they might say, okay, yeah, it's been doing this for the last 4 years. Then I know, okay, not a serious problem, something that he doesn't care all that much about, and something that can't be very serious, because if it was, it would get worse and worse and worse, but it stayed the same all that time. Whenever you have somebody working on your car, you always want to explain things like that to people. It makes total sense. Vroom skies. Hello, everyone. I got a 90 Toyota Celica. The car's having real bad misfiring issues. What could it be? That's exactly what it says. The car isn't firing correctly. But it doesn't mean that it's necessarily the ignition system. That's easier to check. First, of course, you take out the spark plugs. They're old and worn, you replace them. If you have an old car and the spark plug wires are worn 5, 6 years old, buy new spark plug wires, distributor cap. A modern car, 95 or newer, definitely have a scan tool hooked up. And the kicker of that is, let's say you're only having misfires on cylinder number 4. Well, then you have a newer car that has the ignition coils built on top of each plug, so you have 4 of them in a 4-cylinder car. You can just take the number 4-cylinder ignition coil, put it on the number 1, and put the number 1 on the number 4 and drive it. Then if you find the misfires have moved to number 1, hey, you know, it's that bad ignition coil, and you can just buy the coil. It's not like the olden days. Some of these coils are $150, $200 a piece, and you're not going to spend $1,000 buying 4 of them with tax when only one of them is bad. So that's another way of checking it. But also have a problem in the fuel system that's going to make the car misfire. To check the fuel pressure, see if the fuel filter's clogged. Also had a problem in the engine. You could have a bad valve where you would take a compression test of each cylinder, and if you found one cylinder had low pressure compared to the others, it could be a bad valve in that cylinder. There's a lot of things that can make a misfire, but always check the ignition system first, because that's the easiest and fastest thing to check. Bushmeat, he says, Scotty, in your latest video, you said the Crown Vic is a reliable car and can last over 300,000 miles. Well, I have a bone stock '01 Mustang with 67K on it, beautiful condition. I wonder if this is reliability since they share the same engine and automatic transmission. Yes, I assume you bought it new, it's only got 67,000 miles on it. If you take care of it and drive it conservatively, yes, it can. They're a sports car. A lot of people drive the heck out of them, and they just burn the stuff up from over-revving and driving them too hard. But if you take care of yours and it's bone stock, yes, it can last a really long time. The problem is a lot of kids buy them, beat the heck out of them, or they keep beefing them up. They throw turbochargers on them, put on headers and straight pipes, and things are going to wear out faster when you do that. Yours? No, maybe you can. Adam C1 cab. Scotty, my parents have an '07 Toyota Camry 2.4 4-cylinder with 190,000 miles that gets bad gas mileage. Take it to mechanics and they haven't been able to figure out what's wrong with the thing. What do you think it could be? It's got a lot of mileage on it. Camrys get decent gas mileage, especially on the highway. Have a mechanic like me, a good one. Go test it with his dealer level scanner. When I do that, I get live data, I got historical data, I got Mode 6 data. When I do it, my customers watch. It just shocks them when they see the pages and pages of information I go through. You said that you cleaned the MAF sensor, but it just could be worn out. And all I got to do is drive it around a little, and then when I come to a stop, look at the MAF sensor data while it's idling, and I know what it should be. Oh, anywhere from 2.4 to 3 grams per second. And if it's way off, I know that's bad and I'd replace it. You can clean it, but the things do wear out. Analyzing the rich and leanness of the engine. That old, the fuel injectors can just be old and dirty. How to clean fuel injectors without removal. You can watch that, have that process done. We mechanics have pressure machines that can pressure clean your injectors. I've done that to some, and wham, their gas mileage went way up when they had that kind of mileage and they were getting bad gas mileage. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, Remember to ring that bell.